everyone. Welcome back to the Cope Well podcast. Today, I wanted to share a strategy of how you can actually add to your life through subtraction, through removing things that aren't serving you and learning how to control your emotions to improve your mental health. So, I started thinking about this, how powerful it could be to actually remove the things in your life that are causing you stress and causing you negativity instead of adding more onto it. I feel like we're in a society that tends to do that. So, what if the secret to having more health and wellness and improved mental health isn't about adding to it, but it is about subtracting and removing some of those things that aren't supporting us or are actually causing us harm? So there was a time in my life where removing something that was very negative that I just kept putting up with for a long time created space for something so much better, something so beautiful and so wonderful. And if I hadn't have been open and willing to another way, it was a risk. I had to take that jump. I would never know how joyful life could have actually become. And so by the end of this episode, sharing some of these notes that I've kind of brainstormed on this topic, I want to give you a framework for maybe how to audit your life. And then we'll talk about the ABC please skill, typically or specifically the ABC part, to maybe give you guys an additional skill and activity to do to continue improving mental health. I wanted to start off by addressing, I feel like it's this paradox we have in our society. I feel like we want more. We're always adding like more on our to-do list, making more commitments, buying more things, looking to our relationships, more friends, more activities, more habits, build habits around this and habit stacking. I don't know that we ever really pause and take a breath and ask ourselves what needs to go from our lives? What is no longer supporting my path in life? And so the focus of this share is how can we eliminate and how can subtraction from our life actually create expansion and add to our growth and improve our well-being? I first heard about this power of subtraction. I honestly don't remember if it was a download or if it was something I heard from a podcast or a snippet that kind of sparked the thought in me. My mom is a minimalist and she's always getting rid of her things and simplifying her life. And so I feel like that's a quest for her, and that is interesting to model for me. I have all this stuff, so many things in my life that I don't need, and you probably do too. So, why do we accumulate things that don't actually help us? Why are we holding on to things? And it doesn't have to be a physical thing, right? Because when we hold on to things, relationships, friends, it could be a physical thing, it ends up costing us time, energy, mental space, and ultimately maybe even our joy. So keep this principle in mind, this addition through subtraction, adding more good to your life by removing what drains you, making room for something that brings you joy and brings you energy and supports you, right? So think about your relationships, think about obligations or commitments you've had that really are unfulfilling to you. And then, yes, we can think about the physical clutter and things we hold on to in our space as well, because your environment affects your mental. It affects how you function physically, and it does have an impact on our mental health. So that's really important to consider as well. And I feel like the focus in what I wanted to share today isn't physical. It is more of just auditing your life with relationships or commitments, and some of those bigger concept things in your life that just aren't supporting you anymore. What path in life are you on, and who is there to really support you and where you want to go? So, most of the skills really come back to awareness. And so, ask yourself, just do this like an awareness based audit. Check in with your body, because your body knows more than your mind. And I'm learning how our body communicates to our brain more and more. I'm going to do a podcast on that in a couple weeks. I think you could just ask yourself, does this feel good or does this feel heavy? Does it feel good in my body or does it not? And so, coming back to the skill I wanted to share, the ABC Please skill, the A stands for accumulating positive experiences. So, this would be the addition part of our life where we want to do more of the things that we love. What brings you joy? And then, how can you do more of that? So, by removing the time commitments, the restraints in your life, removing the things that maybe aren't serving you, it's going to free up time for things that actually bring you joy, which is going to add immensely to your mental and emotional well-being. So I'm going to offer you a few steps to get there, right? Practical steps to take to kind of simplify this theory or thought or whatever it is. How do we actually eliminate? Looking at the physical, I feel like that's a pretty easy one, your physical space. I used to be the kind of person that couldn't function with a messy desk. I could not think straight when my space was cluttered. It was chaotic, so my brain was chaotic, I guess. I need a very calm and supportive environment. So even if you just start with one drawer, one closet, just do one thing at a time, and maybe you just get it organized. Or maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't used this stuff in 15 years. I don't need this. And you can get rid of it. The physical part, it's all energetics, right? So your space is going to feel lighter, which will have an effect on you. When I talked about commitments earlier, if you're asked to do something and it's not a full body yes, or as I like to say, a heaven yes, maybe you want to question it if it's a no, right? Again, how does it feel? Does it feel good or does it not feel so good? That is a good guidance system to help you decide if you want to commit to something or not. Full body yes. Is it a heaven yes? With relationships, you could set boundaries. Or you may have to just end up having a tough conversation with someone to say, I just need some space right now, or slowly eliminate, right? As you grow apart, maybe the texts become fewer and fewer. I don't know. That's going to be very personal. And think about how you can set up your energetic boundaries. Is this good for me? And how could it be, right? Because you always want to come from a place of love, even when you're setting boundaries, even if you're sharing that you're on a different path and growing away from someone, always send them love. And that will help your growth. It will help them, right? Detach with love. Another easy way I think we could eliminate, and this might be the most simple place for a lot of you to start, is think digitally. What apps, what old pictures on your phone, what old files, who do you need to unfollow? Just that's probably an easy place to start. Yeah, I don't have contact with that person, or that's from my old job. I don't need that anymore. And remove some of the digital clutter. Or that's energetic too, believe it or not. And that could also help you feel a little bit lighter. And then that will help you build momentum. And you're like, yes, I can do this. And you can continue subtracting, right, to find more joy. I do want you to be aware of emotions that might pop up some obstacles along the way as you are shifting tracks, as you are moving forward, as you are really with this concept. Our focus is on what we want. Our focus is on creating more joy. Our focus is on that accumulating more positive experiences for us. So you're going to be focusing less and less on the negatives. And that's really, if you get nothing else out of this episode, that's the major concept to think about. So coming back to that accumulating positive experiences, that's really just doing more of what you love. You've created space. Now let's fill it with something that lights you up, that fuels you. You could do a joy inventory of what things in my life really make me feel good. Like for me, I really love hiking and I kind of never do it. So I can, with that awareness, I can, oh yeah, I want to add more of that. How can I create time in my weekends to get that in? Or can I do it locally? Can I get it in before the sun sets? Just keep an open mind and be flexible to fit in those ways. I talked about earlier focusing on the positives, right? So where your attention and your focus needs to go in the direction of the things you want in life, not on the negative, not on what you don't want. So if you can focus on positive expansion, you will have more time for your passions, more time for self-care and rest and hobbies and deeper connections with people that actually support you, energize you, and you're going to have more growth naturally, have room and time for more creativity. That energy, as you release, will allow you to grow and improve your well-being naturally. And this might need to be an ongoing practice. You might want to put a reminder on your calendar, like each quarter or each month, just check in. The full moon is a good time to do this and think, what can I let go of in my life? What is not helping me? That includes those negative thoughts, which I feel like we talk about pretty frequently. So to recap, the skill from DBT is accumulating positive experiences, which is part of the ABC Please skill. Your maybe homework, if you choose to accept, is just bring awareness around maybe one thing that would be helpful for you to eliminate this week. And I wanted to remind you that this is part of maintaining your emotional well-being. Make it intentional. Your self-care isn't selfish, right? You've got to check in with yourself regularly of like, what is truly serving me? Okay. How can I be better at this? And how can I make my life better? No one else is going to do this for you unless you have a really good friend with really great awareness that says, that's not good for you. Why do you keep eating that? Talking to that person, whatever it is, doing that activity. So it doesn't hurt to check in with yourself, right? Feel that empowerment. Reach out with any questions and let me know your thoughts and maybe what you've eliminated that has supported you, or if you need help cutting those ties and eliminating things from your life. Hope well, guys.